Hey folks, welcome to a very special inaugural video and a 1 year series that investment director Sean McCluskey, is creating for our Naked Trades subscribers, and turning $50 into $10,000. Now, because this is an inaugural video, I have a very special guest today. Legendary market expert and founder of our company, Angel Publishing, Brian Hicks. Welcome, Brian.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. Nice to be here.
Great to have you. Now, I told Brian a little bit about what I was planning on doing today, and he wanted in. I figured maybe I'll just kind of describe a little bit, because you don't really know exactly what I'm trying to do here, if that's correct, right? I gave you the quick bullets.
No, you're like a mad scientist, so I just let people do what they want to do and bring me the results. So
that's pretty much the best way to describe it. We're gonna match scientists $50 into $10,000, God willing, skills willing, to prove that my asymmetric profit system, which we use for Naked Trades, a publication of Angel Publishing, to prove that using the system, you can literally turn $50 into $10,000. So I am doing this with my own money. I'm doing it in my own account. I'm doing it at my own fruition. It will be trades that you will be able to see as I open and close them throughout the course of the next 365 days. And hopefully, come March 2023, we'll be celebrating $10,000 in profits.
That'd be great. When I heard about this idea, I wanted to join in as well, because I would like to see the actual system personally. And, of course, I do want to make some money, but I want to see it happen. I want to personally see it happen. And if it happens, great. And, it'd be great for our subscribers as well.
Yeah, I'd like to pay off one of these credit cards that I have real fast. So $10,000 will be great for me, too.
Well, you also want a boat, right?
Well, yeah, I want a boat, but I'm already saving for that. This is outside of it. I'll just get a better I'll get a better rate on that boat if I pay this credit card off.
Well, so if you don't know, Sean's an avid fisherman, and he's always talking to me about where he's fishing and all the equipment he wants to buy. And so this is a quick way for you to do it, bud.
Yeah, I did spend $300 on a brand new fishing rod and reel last week. So.
Okay, there you go.
These trades are treating me well, and they're treating our subscribers well. In other videos that you can peruse on the YouTube channel, I'll go over some of the trades that our official Naked Trades subscribers at our website, angelpublishing.com, which you can also see in the info page of the Naked Trades YouTube. All those links are there. You can go and click and check them out at your leisure. But yeah, they're making real money too, and quite honestly, I'm being a little more frugal with these trades. So they're making more money than me. Mm-hmm. But that's okay, because,
Well, I've been following Sean's trades for the past 6 months, and I have to admit that I haven't participated in any of the trades, but I'm a believer, and now I'm going to put my own money as well into his trades to verify everything he's been doing.
And to that, actually going to have Dave, our publisher for Naked Trades and many of the services that we run here at Angel Publishing. He's been doing these trades, maybe the past 4 or 5 trades, and I think he's profited double digits or more on every last one of them, if not 4 out of 5. And we'll have him in for the next series that we do for these videos.
Perfect.
But today I wanted to record this because we're officially about to turn $50 into $100 this week. 100. So a first 100% gain.
Sure.
And that's kind of the goal. Double up every month.
Double every month, right?
If you do the math, 50 to 100 in March, 100 to 200 in April, 200 to 400 in May, 400 to 800 in June. By July and August, when we continue to amplify our investment or on these trades, we're going to amplify our gains. If everything goes perfectly, I'll have 3 months to play with, and I'll already be at $10,000.
Right.
And then, we'll probably get double the views for this series because I'll have to change the title to 20,000, 50 to 20,000 or something like that. But that's the long and short of kind of how this works. Now, as for the algorithm, the system, et cetera, in a lot of ways, you'd have to saw up in my skull and take out my brain and dissect that if you wanted to see the algorithm at work. Hook it up to some electrodes and watch that thing fire.
Okay.
Because a lot of what different than other pattern traders who spend $10,000 with computer programmers to design these algorithms, I kind of just have it up here. It's not to brag. It's just maybe I'm on the spectrum a little bit. I don't know. But I see patterns. I see these things kind of like a mad scientist does.
Sure.
And it's working really well. Now, that's not to say I don't use charts, technical indicators, fundamental things, but I'm just able to kind of assign the right weights to all these variables that comes out to the best conclusions.
Right.
And I'll try and show that visually to you and the viewers today. So what do you say we jump in?
Perfect.
Let's see, where do we start? Okay, so real quickly, beginning of March, I had $50 in my TD account, and I decided that was the goal, to turn that into 10,000. So the first two trades I made, were in Denison Mines and Highcroft Mining. We talked a little bit about Denison because that's the uranium play. And we kicked this around in the office a lot. Uranium, obviously, massive increase in price, huge pressure on supply, further raising price, demand not ceasing, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of our analysts were on it. I saw the option that I liked, huge open interest, a lot of implied volatility, super cheap. So I jumped into that one. That specifically was the July 15th $2 calls. I got it for 19 cents or $19 for the one contract. I'm only buying one contract at a time right now because I'm only starting with $50. I have $50 to play with. So, got to start small. But we're going to nibble and we're going to nibble. The other trade I made at the same time that I opened was on Highcroft Mining. Now, that was a gold miner. And before we go any further, I really kind of bunked that trade. But as I'll explain, my system even allows when your brain stops working for a day and you make the wrong trade, if you still follow the premise of the system, you're very likely going to get a gain still, just not the big one that the system generally. You'll laugh at this. The Denison trade went perfect. It followed the bull case of the sector. I found the company with the right fundamentals, a good earnings report. We went through the gauntlet, then through the options chain and all those other hundreds of options, found the right option based on a number of parameters that I set out. Long story short, what do we call it?
Was there a specific catalyst that drew you to Denison?
It was really the undertold uranium mining story.
Right.
It was just starting to kind of pick up wind in the mainstream media. So before the flood of retail investors all had a chance to pile in, relying on some of the experts that work here and the discussions that we have day to day and the insights that we produce, I kind of already knew that there was this really strong case to get into uranium miners. Then it was just a matter of finding, I wanted a junior miner because I always liked junior miner stories. And these guys had a really good earnings report. And additionally, they were really cheap. So I thought there was going to be some social media kind of meme stock interest in it. There wasn't a huge. I think it was a good mix of retail and institutional buyers that pumped that the price up for this trade to pay off. But that was kind of the long story. There was just it was the right amount of interest at the right time for the right price. And those three kind of pillars of what made this trade happen stem from 5 or 10 support supportive ideas underneath those. But that's really the minutia of it. I could get down to the uranium drilling counts and what their assay results are and things of that nature. But who cares?
Right.
Let's just make some money.
Right.
I mean, we care, but because that's what moves the stock. But not everyone out there cares. They kind of just want to. So that's why I presented it in such a way. And I jumped into it. And let's see, what do we sell it for? Sold that a day later for 30 cents, which was a 60% gain. So in one day we made 60% on that. And, we could have pushed it a little bit more, but really with such a small bank to start with, I can't lose that 50 and then add another 50 in and call this legit. So we have to keep the 50 that we started with alive and truly build off of that. So I'm taking gains early right now. So we locked in the 60%. Fantastic. Now here's the funny thing with Highcroft. They had a really good earnings report too. I spoke to our gold expert, Luke Burgess. He liked what he saw in their drilling results. They hit the high end of the range in terms of gold production for the year. All good signs for a small Canadian junior miner. I timed it wrong though. I got in a little too high. The earnings report didn't impress actual investors like I thought it would. And it kind of trended sideways. I ended up selling it for a 25% loss.
Okay.
But as soon as I sold it, and this is where it gets funny, and the CEO of AMC went on record saying that AMC was going to make a significant investment. AMC, as you know, is a huge social media meme stock, and all the apes love piling into it. So, of course, by proxy, they piled into this one. Now, again, I was a day late on this one, too. So I really timed this all wrong. I completely crapped the bed on it, technically speaking. I got in, where are we at here? Got in for 35 cents for the contract. And that was a bit on the high end, but the apes were so stoked over AMC's involvement with this gold mining company now that they drove the price up significantly. And I sold it. I basically wanted to double my loss. So I lost 25%. I ended up gaining 35%. I didn't actually double my loss, but I covered my loss here. And that actually helped me, between those two trades, that helped me push the account value from $50 to $75.
Okay.
So yeah, I made a misstep, but because the system pinpointed huge open interest that was so high that even though I bought near the top, I was still able to sell at the true top, which gave me a 35% return, for a total return of 10% on this, in and out trade that which gave me the ability to enter my next trade on the path to $100. And this stock, Petrobras.
Yes, I do.
We've had some significant success with that. Our Bull and Bust report founder, Christian DeHammer, has recommended that, and it's doing very well in his portfolio. I've played it in the options market myself this entire year. This is the third trade, actually, that I've been involved with around PBR. Two of those were actually recommended to our Naked Trade subscribers via Angel Publishing. Again, go to the website to learn more about how you can become a full Naked Trade subscriber. Links are all in the description below. They cashed in 205% off that first PBR trade, and we're now sitting on roughly, I think last I checked, was about 50%, maybe 60% in the current open trade that we have. And I personally did a similar trade, but for a different expiration date on the PBR $15 calls that expire on May 20th. Right now, as you can see, in my account screen here. I'm just a shade away from my goal of $100. I shot that. I took a screenshot of that.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes before I slacked you to come on up. So I put in a sell order. It's still open, the sell order. I'm trying to sell it for 53 cents. I got it in, let's see. I got in for 30 cents a few days ago, maybe a week ago at this point. If I sell it for 51 cents, that's a 66% gain. I'm happy with that, and that'll put me right at the $100 mark within 1 month's time. So first notch achieved. Well, I don't want to jinx it. The sell order has to fulfill at 53 cents per contract for me to lock this in. I'm confident over the next hour and 12 minutes, because it's 2:48 p.m. EST right now on March 31st. I'm confident it'll happen. And if not, it's only a day in force order. So, and it's a May 20th expiration date. I got 2 months to just sit on it, and maybe by the grace of God, it'll turn into a 300% gain.
Well, I own Petrobras myself personally, based on the discussions that you've had with Hammer. I'm up almost a full double, but I own the common stock. So now I want to actually follow Sean's lead on this, where I can really, really leverage my investments on common stocks I like, but by playing the options. So, yeah, I think. And what was the time frame that you've cashed out on, or did you take profits on Petrobras on your calls?
Let's see.
I think it was only maybe a month.
Yeah, the previous ones were within 4 weeks' time, maybe give or take a week. Let's say I entered this last one. I bought on March 22nd, so roughly 7 trading days ago. And I'm trying to sell today, so within 7 trading days, I'm hoping to lock in 66% return. And that trade only cost me a total of $30 to get in.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds small, but that's how we're going to incrementally grow this. We get to 100 now. We turn that into 200 next month. We turn that into 400, and we turn that into 800. We turn that into 1600. Once I turn it into 1600 in 4 or 5 months, I mean, I could put $800 down on an AMD call that I know is juicy. Like, the only reason I didn't already make this challenge so much easier is because I couldn't afford the AMD call at the 125. And I kid you not, if you look it up right now, the AMD 125 calls are probably trading for like $2-3. Actually, let's look it up right now. This is why this is so much fun. I take that all back. What the heck happened? Down 8% today. I'll have to. Well, yesterday they were trading for $3, and a week ago I could have got in for, $120. Pull up the options chain just so you can see the ones I was looking at. I was looking at these April 14th. Out of the money. The AMD 125 calls and the 120 calls. And okay, they're back down to where they were originally trading at. So, to get an AMD call for $123 is really cheap. And as you can see, just a few days ago, they were trading at 125. So if I had been able to buy that when I wanted to and then sell at this high point a few days ago, I mean, let's see what in the money calls are trading at just as a proxy. Where'd that screen go? Options chain. Where are you? Let's see. In the money calls. So for 450 for the closest in the money call. So, that's implying that as soon as AMD gets in the money, you're generally looking at a 300-400% return on your investment.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw for a fact, like 2 days ago, they were trading for around $3, those 120 calls that I wanted to buy. Just unfortunately only had, I was already in trades. I only had $39 in available funds to play with. I couldn't buy it. But I mean, once you get to $800 in the bank, I could make a couple of those.
Sure.
And then, I mean, we took 1,100% return on an AMD trade last year.
Right.
So
yes, I remember that.
The sky's the limit. I'm very excited.
Yeah, so am I.
Let's see, my order filled. So close, so close.
Now with this system, Sean, how many trades do you anticipate making per week?
Opening and closing. I'll put it in per month. I'll probably make 3 to 4 a month.
3 or 4 a month. Okay.
And that's assuming the law of averages that I'm not going to be able to win on every one.
Sure.
So I'm probably having 2 winning trades that I bet right on, 1 trade that I bet wrong on, and 1 trade that I have to use to make up for that loss to keep on the path.
Right. Yes. Okay.
I mean, I'm not perfect. It's the law of averages. I mean,
right.
You can anoint me like stock god of the entire world if I don't make a mistake in this entire run. I already made 1 mistake.
Oh, no,
but thank God my system was good enough to not make it too bad.
Right.
But yeah, that's the gist of it. We achieved our first goal, double our money in 1 month.
Well, let's keep doing it.
Let's keep doing it. And I'll let you know. So, full disclosure.
Yep.
I'm not ready to just recommend a new PBR call just yet.
Okay.
I want to see how the market digests Biden's reserve release, which I think is a stupid idea.
Well, you think he's
Ask me why.
Political reasons?
Well, I mean, I think of reserves as a savings account.
Sure.
What do you use your savings account? Yes.
Right.
When a tornado takes your roof off, when, flood disasters, food shortages, those reserves are for when meteors hit. 5 different hurricanes and an earthquake smack the U.S. at the same time. World War III happens. Anything beyond that is a misappropriation of those reserves. Also, I didn't hear a plan on how to replenish those reserves.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Also, we could have simply rolled back a percentage or all of the federal gas tax, or just subsidize oil and gas production for 6 to 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have the privilege of being American and having a little more expendable cash than your average person across the globe. Even people in our lowest income brackets can better mitigate $4 per gallon than what might happen if a small meteor hits somewhere in the Midwest and destroys our power grid, where it would take 12 months to repair, and we're offline having to use gas run generators and stuff like that to keep going in the meantime. I mean, it's just a pure lack of foresight. And for the record, I'm not just a Biden basher. Trump was a terrible person and a worse president, but Biden's the second worst president I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Well, I'm old enough that I lived through the Carter administration, so that was pretty bad.
I think when 30 years from now, when you get asked that question again, you might say Biden was worse. He hasn't finished his term, but I mean, he's right up there.
I mean, the first year has been.
And I don't like any politicians, really. I mean, I think at some point they realize that it's a popularity contest, so they have to appease the lowest common denominator. And that's just not me. I'm not the lowest common denominator, so nothing they do ever makes me happy. Well, that's my cross to bear, though.
Right. Well, that's a discussion for another video.
Yeah, screw them. Let's turn $50 into 10,000, and then it doesn't matter what they do.
Exactly.
We'll buy our own islands.
I'm trying to.
Well, thanks for joining me. I really enjoyed this.
Thank you, Sean. This is I can't wait to see the results, and Godspeed.
Yeah, maybe we'll be able to do one of these videos from the fishing boat. That would be fun. Or the airsoft course.
Or the airsoft course, or the pickleball courts.
I heard you talking about tennis. Now, I'm not old enough to relinquish the pickleball yet.
No.
Would you like to do some light tennis?
I'll do some tennis for you.
All right.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a date.
All right.
All right. Thanks again. Guys, thanks for watching. Again, this is Naked Trades. You can find us in the full publication, as well as how to subscribe in full and join the Naked Trades Army at angelpublishing.com. This is founder and market legend Brian Hicks joining me, and I'm investment director of Naked Trades, Sean McCluskey, signing off. Happy trading.